What's up? It's Pastor J Wade 2 here with your first revelation for today. I haven't been on in a while live like this, so I decided to come on because it's that time again. Um, Want to talk about mental health and some of the issues that happen during this time. People get depressed and despondent, and uh, things start happening and you feel like you're drowning and it's beyond your control, and your mind begins to wander, your mind begins to play tricks on you, and you start to do things that you wouldn't normally do and say things that you wouldn't normally say and feel in ways that you don't normally feel. And all of that has to do with mental health. Like I said last year, we want to take the stigma off of mental health. Mental health is a serious issue, but it's not an issue that you should feel embarrassed about. It's not an issue that you should try to hide from anyone. And it's not an issue that cannot go untreated. And I implore you, if you know that you have mental health issues, and you know that you have certain diagnoses about your mental health, take care of your mental health. Take care of yourself, especially during times like the holidays, because the holidays tend to stir up all kinds of feelings and thoughts that make you do things that are outside of yourself, and make you do things that you wouldn't normally do, and say things and act in ways that you wouldn't normally act in. So I implore you to really pay attention to your mental health, if it's diagnosed or if it's undiagnosed. Um, you know your triggers, you know the things that make you act out and do things that you wouldn't normally do. Some people, you know, during this time period, they start drinking heavily, way more than they usually do, or they start acting out and pushing people away and getting solitary and confined in their own spots because they just don't want to deal with people and deal with the emotions and deal with the family and family issues. This is the time period where these things really come to a head. It's a time where we should all come together and celebrate the holidays and come together and celebrate each other and spend time together. And it's a time for family, it's a time for friends, it's a time for fun. But it also has been historically a time when families break apart, when people feel isolated, when people feel picked on, when people feel like because they can't do this or they can't do that, and their mind tells them that you're nothing, that you can't do what you want to do, because it makes you depressed. It makes you feel like you're nothing and you have amounted to nothing because you can't do the things that you want to do. Well, brothers and sisters, mental health is very important. And I wish that we all would consider our mental health, because believe me, everyone has mental health issues. It may not be diagnosed, it may not be diagnosable, but all of us have mental health issues, and we all have to keep our minds and our hearts directed towards God. And that's what we want to talk about today. Just for a few minutes, we want to talk about peace of mind in the middle of all of the confusion of the holidays. And it's because of the emphasis that the media places on the holidays and the things that you ought to do and the things that you ought to buy and the ways that you should act and the things that you should do. There's a stigma placed on the holidays that really causes anxiety and depression in a lot of people. And what's crazy about that is these holidays that are coming up are the antithesis of that. There should be no pressure, no strain, no confusion surrounding what we're celebrating. Thanksgiving is a day that we celebrate and thank God for everything that He's done for us. We're giving thanks to God for being alive. We're giving thanks to God for making it from last Thanksgiving to this Thanksgiving. We're thanking God for all of the things that he's done for us. So the disconnect is when the media and then yourself place all of those expectations on yourself, and you feel as though it's overwhelming, and it can cause mental issues. It can cause different things, and then families get together, and then things start happening, and we start talking, and uh, animosity builds up, and uh, we get angry with each other, and we but this should be a time where we come together and thank God. Leave all the animosity behind. Leave all of the problems and the things that tear us apart. Leave those things behind and focus on what we're really doing. It's called thanksgiving, giving thanks to God for what he's done for us as a family, as an individual, all year long. He's kept you. You're here. You're able to celebrate, and you should celebrate. Shouldn't be uh, fighting with each other. We shouldn't be cussing with each other. And when you invite alcohol into the situation, it gets even rougher. So we have to take those stigmas off of the holidays in order to keep our mind at peace, because Thanksgiving is a peaceful, meant to be a peaceful time of reflection and celebration, as well as Christmas. We get ourselves bogged down in what we should buy and how we can give, and when we can't do what we have in mind to do, we get depressed. And then people have expectations of what we should do, and when we can't do it, then there's animosity there, and then there's butting of the heads and all that kind of thing. But Christmas is a celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, who came to bring peace on earth. That's one of the slogans of Christmas. But because it's been so commercialized and it's been so misconstrued throughout the ages, we've placed a stigma on Christmas that causes us to have depression, that causes us to have anxiety, that causes us to have animosity towards other people. And we need to lift all of that, because this is a time of peace. The holidays should be a time of peace, and we should live peaceably with everybody. Don't use this time to create strife and create different problems for yourself and for others. That's how we keep our mind at peace during times like this. Take all of the stigmas off, take all of the pressure off, take all the parameters off, and just focus on what we're really doing. We're thanking God for Thanksgiving, and we're praising God for Christmas, for Jesus coming on this earth so he could die for us and be resurrected, and we have the life everlasting because of this event. We celebrate the event, not the day. So let's take all of those pressures off of ourselves. We can do what we can do. Whatever God allows, that's what we can do. That's it. We shouldn't cause ourselves anxiety and pressure and strain and animosity to celebrate a man of peace that will grant you peace of mind, even when it's not the holidays. So let's look at Philippians 4 and 17. Philippians 4 and 17 says, "And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Jesus Christ." Brothers and sisters, in the midst of all that's going on, in the midst of the pressure, in the midst of the strain, in the midst of the animosity, in the midst of the commercialism, and all of these things that happen during holiday times that causes our mind to wander and causes our mind to get upset and causes our mind to bubble over with feelings of hurt and feelings of animosity and feelings of strain, stress, struggle. The reason our minds get so discombobulated is because we take the center, the root of everything that we're doing during this time. We take the root out of it. We take God out of Thanksgiving, because the symbol of Thanksgiving in America is a turkey. But the symbol of Thanksgiving in America or anywhere should be hands of thanks, thanking God for what he's done, not the turkey. Of course, it's great to have turkey. I love turkey and dressing, sweet potato pie, dirty rice. I love all of that stuff, but that's not what it's about. And it's fine to have that. It's fine to have that. I love that. I want that. I'm going to have that. But when we place that above what we're really doing, we're taking our mind off of what really matters. And God is what really matters. And when we take God out of the equation of everything that we do, then our mind starts to wonder. And that peace that God gives through Jesus Christ is gone. When we take God out of anything we're doing, that peace that he offers us leaves with him. So you wonder why I can't find peace. I can't understand. My mind is all messed up. My mind is playing tricks on me. I'm doing all kind of things that I shouldn't do. Why is that happening? Well, think about it. Have you taken God out of the equation? Because if you've taken God out of the equation, that peace that he brings leaves with him. Keep God in what you do. Because Philippians said right here in 4:7, the peace of God which passes all understanding shall keep your hearts and minds through Jesus Christ. That peace that God gives. You can have peace in the midst of turmoil around you. And people may not even be able to understand it. You might not even be able to understand it. But it's that peace that God gives. It's foolish to other people how you can live in a climate like this and still have peace of mind. Brothers and sisters, a lot of the issues that we have, a lot of the mental issues that we go through and we deal with can be resolved if we just keep God at the center of what we do. If we keep God at the center of everything, and stop putting ourselves in the center or putting someone else in the center or putting different things in the center, put God in the center of everything that you do. Because when we do that, then we acquire the peace that comes along with him. We get all confused and discombobulated and distressed and depressed because we take God out of the equation. But when we put him in, not only will he come in with his power, his glory, his love, he also brings peace. And peace in your mind will keep your mind from doing all of the things that cause you turmoil and trouble. When you have God's peace in your mind, it's hard for your mind to get tangled up in anything else. When God is at the center of everything that you do, it's hard to get tangled up in a whole bunch of mess because God, when you got God in the center, he's not going to allow all of that. You're not going to have time for all of that. You're not going to have room for all of that. When you place God at the center of all that we do, when we put God at the center of this holiday season, if you take the time and put God at the center of everything that has to do with this holiday season, he will keep your mind. That peace that he brings will keep your heart and your mind. What does that mean? Keep your heart and your mind. Hold on to it. I'm protecting it. God says, you put me in your mind. You give me your mind and your heart, and I will protect your mind and your heart. Two of the biggest things that happen during holiday seasons is your heart get broken and your mind gets confused. And the reason is because we've taken God out of what we're doing. When we leave God there, when we bring God there, God will protect. He will keep your heart and your mind. And God's protection is unlike any other protection. Anything that comes to try to disturb your peace, disturb your heart, disturb your mind, he will block it. You know that song, God blocked it? He got to be there first. You got to allow him there in order to block it. Is he not going to just block it from afar? Put him in your heart, put him in your mind, and he will keep it. He will protect it. He will block it. He will keep your mind in perfect peace. That peace that you just don't even understand. How can I be at peace when war is going on around me? Prices are through the roof. Inflation is just keeps inflating. Our elected officials seems like they're stealing elections. All of these things are happening around this same time. But if we keep our minds and hearts on God, he will keep you in peace. When we invite God in, we invite his peace. And his peace will keep your heart and your mind. So I hear you. I hear you. This is a depressing time for me. I've lost loved ones before this period happened. Last time this year I had my this, or I had my that. I've lost. Well, brothers and sisters, keep your mind on God, because no matter what you lost, no matter who you lost, no matter how hard it may be, no matter what you can and you cannot do this holiday season, if you keep God at the center of it, not only will everything be okay, but he will keep your heart and your mind at peace. So, brothers and sisters, really concentrate on God during this holiday season and allow him to keep your heart and your mind. The sanity that he brings is insanity to everyone else. But you know that you have God guarding your heart and your mind. So this holiday season, think about mental health. Think about keeping God in the forefront of your mind and your heart, and he will bring that peace that nobody can understand. And he will guard your heart and your mind. God bless you. I love you. I'll see you next time.